Pour yourself a dram and listen close, because this is how it all went down. Alright, settle in. If you're looking at your portfolio today, it's looking like a hillside in the highlands, bright, piercing green. We were 60 minutes away from the end of a civilization last night, but here we are. The Trump deadline turned into a massive relief rally, and the world is breathing again, for now. Think back to last night. The clocks were ticking toward 8 p.m. Trump had the B-1B bombers in the air and targets locked on Iran's power plants. Then, at the very last second, the red phone rang. Pakistan's military brass delivered a 10-point plan from Tehran that actually made the big man pause. He didn't just pause. He pivoted. Trump hit Truth Social like a whirlwind. He called it a double-sided ceasefire. He claims he won the war without firing a shot, rebranding a potential disaster into a 14-day holiday from the fighting. The bombers are back on the tarmac, and the world is stunned. The market is pumping because the apocalypse trade just got liquidated. Investors were priced for World War III. When they realized we weren't heading for a nuclear winter today, the algorithm bots went mental buying up everything that was sold off yesterday. That's your green candle right there. The big story is the black gold. Brent crude has cratered, down nearly 16% to around $92. Why? Because Iran agreed to a regulated opening of the Strait of Hormuz. For the first time in weeks, the world's oil is flowing through the jugular again. That's a massive weight off the global economy. Don't overlook Islamabad. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif played a blinder. He's been the middleman between Washington and Tehran, finding an off-ramp that lets Trump look like the winner while keeping the missiles in their silos. Pakistan is the bridge holding this whole thing together. The deal isn't a peace treaty, it's a 14-day breather. Iran says they'll open the strait, but they want it under their military coordination. It's a messy compromise, and Trump's already calling it a workable basis for a bigger deal. It's thin ice, pal. Here is the fly in the ointment. Israel isn't part of this holiday. Today, while the US and Iran are having a cuppa, the IDF launched their biggest strikes yet into Lebanon, 100 targets in 10 minutes. Netanyahu's made it clear. His war with Hezbollah is separate from the US deal. Now, I know you're waiting for the red. You're waiting for the panic to come back so you can scoop up the cheapies. And honestly, you're probably right. This rally is built on a 14-day fuse. One stray drone or a bad meeting in Islamabad, and this green will turn back to blood. There are 800 ships backed up in the Gulf. It's like a heart attack that just had a stent put in. The first tankers, the NJ Earth, are moving through today, but insurance rates are still sky high. The danger isn't gone, it's just regulated for the moment. Trump's already talking about the golden age and big money. He wants to start reconstruction and get the supply lines loaded up. He's trying to shift from war president to economic architect in a single day. The retail traders are eating it up. Moscow and Beijing are both looking relieved today. They both welcomed the pause. Russia's even suggesting that if the US can talk to Iran, maybe they can talk about Ukraine. The whole geopolitical board has been kicked, and the pieces are flying everywhere. Back home, the White House is already claiming victory at the pump. With crude prices fallen today, gas futures are down. It's a massive relief for the average punter, and that's keeping the domestic mood positive, for now. Make no mistake, the bombers haven't gone back to the hangar. They're on standby 15. Trump said the Navy is hanging around the Gulf to help with traffic. It's a polite way of saying the carriers are staying in stricken distance. The big day is Friday. That's when the negotiators meet in Pakistan. If those talks hit a wall, that's when your red candle is coming back to town. We're watching for any leaks from the mediators to see if the deal has legs. The market is betting that this ceasefire kills the inflation spike. If oil stays under $100, the Fed might not have to be as aggressive. That's why tech stocks, the Apples and Teslas, are flying today. They love the idea of lower rates. We're in a high volatility regime. You need to keep your savage mode on because these 2% green days can turn into 4% red days in a heartbeat. It's a trader's paradise, but it'll give you a heart attack if you aren't careful. The big banks are still cautious, but retail is chasing this hard. You see it in the call options volume today. It's through the roof. People are betting on a peace boom, but the smart money is looking at that 14-day timer and sweating bullets. As of this afternoon, we've got 13 days and change left. The clock is ticking on the most expensive pause in history. Every day that passes without a solid deal in Islamabad makes the market a little bit more jumpy. So, stay sharp, pal. If you're waiting for the red to buy in, keep your powder dry and your eyes on the oil tickers. This ceasefire is a thin sheet of ice. Enjoy the green today, but don't forget how close we came to the edge.